It dawned on me the other day that it's been a little while since I last wrote a 5 best top 5 list for 1945. It also dawned on me that whilst my previous 5 best articles have run the gamut of topics from surface warships to firearms to fixed-wing fighter jets, I have yet to offer any literary love to rotary-wing aircraft, i.e. helicopters aka whirlybirds aka choppers. With that in mind, for now, we shall narrow it down to attack helicopters, i.e. helicopter gunships. To narrow it down further, we shall limit it to choppers that have been proven in combat. AH64 Apache, originally built by Hughes Helicopters, now known as MD Helicopters, and currently manufactured by Boeing. The Apache made her maiden flight in September 1975, but didn't actually enter into operational status with the U.S. Army until April 1986. She was worth the wait. The Apache received her baptism of fire during Operation Just Cause in Panama in December 1989, in a high-precision assault on the Comandancia building of Manuel Noriega's Panamanian Defense Forces (PDF). However, it was during Operation Desert Storm in 1991 that the Apache truly made a name for herself. The AH-64 fired the first shots of the campaign, knocking out 2 key early warning radar installations in western Iraq, and thus clearing a detection-free corridor for U.S. Air Force jets en route to bombing Baghdad. From there, Apache crews went on to destroy more than 500 of Saddam Hussein's main battle tanks, MBTs. In her current iteration, the Apache packs quite a punch to the tune of the M230 30mm chain gun, Hydra 70 and CRV-7 70mm air-to-ground rockets, the AIM-114 Hellfire missile, and AIM-92 Stinger. A1W Whiskey Cobra, the venomous snake known as the Cobra, has served as the namesake for several deadly flying machines, from the World War II P-39 Airacobra fighter plane and her P-63 King Cobra successor to the Cobra helicopter gunship. The U.S. Marine Corps finally retired the A1W Super Cobra aka Whiskey Cobra in October 2020, but the whirlybird had one hell of a ride along the way. The first version of the Cobra chopper, the A1J, performed interdiction duties on behalf of both the Army and Marine Corps against the Ho Chi Minh Trail from 1969 to 1972. During the Vietnam War, in the 1980s, USMC Cobras flew close air support (CAS) missions during Operation Urgent Fury in Grenada and sank 3 Iranian patrol boats during Operation Praying Mantis. But as with the Apache, it was during Operation Desert Storm that the Cobra had her greatest moments of glory, killing 97 Iraqi MBTs, 104 armored personnel carriers, MBTs, and 2 AAA sites in exchange for zero combat. The Cobras racked up their kill tallies via their 3-barrel, 20mm cannon, TOW and Hellfire anti-tank missiles, 70 and 127mm rockets, and Sidewinder air-to-air missiles. Going forward, the USMC has found a worthy successor to the Whiskey Cobra in the form of the Bell A1Z Viper, not to be confused with the F-16V Viper. Me-24 Hind. When one thinks of Russian-Soviet attack helicopters, chances are the Hind is what comes to mind. The Me-24 entered Soviet service in the late 1970s, starting off as a troop transport, but reconfigured as a gunship, starting with the Hind D variant. It was the Hind D that wreaked havoc against the Mujahideen during the Soviet invasion and occupation of Afghanistan from 1979 to 1989, motivating the CIA to supply Stinger missiles to the Afghan rebels, as dramatized in Ken Follett's best-selling novel Lie Down with Lions. It also enabled Saddam Hussein to swiftly and brutally crush a Shiite rebellion in southern Iraq in March 1991. The Hind has seen action in more than 40 wars and has been deployed by more than 40 countries. The chopper's arsenal is a fearsome one, depending on the variant. A Yak B4 barreled 12.7mm machine gun with a firing rate of 4,500 rounds a minute, a 30mm fixed gun mount, or a 23mm built-in, flexibly mounted gun. The Me-24P and Me-24V have 4 underwing pylons, 4 up to 12 anti-tank missiles, such as the Sturm, NATO reporting name @6 Spiral. Ka52 Alligator. We are the mighty columnist Logan Nye, himself a former U.S. Army journalist and 82nd Airborne Division paratrooper, actually rates the Russian Alligator as the best attack helicopter in the world. His rationale: capable of operating at high altitude and speed, the 2-seater Ka52 snags the top spot from the usual winner, the Apache. The Alligator's anti-ship missiles have better range than the Apache, and the helicopter boasts similar armor and air-to-air capability. The Ka-52 has certainly been used to deadly effect during Vladimir Putin's special military operation in Ukraine, so to speak, on multiple occasions by the Ukrainian defenders. Me28 Havoc. This is the successor to the Hind, making its maiden flight in 1982, but not entering into Russian service until 2009. Logan Nye rates this the number 3 best attack helicopter in the world, just behind the Apache. The Havoc carries anti-tank missiles that can pierce a meter of armor. It also has pods for 80mm unguided rockets, 5 122mm rockets, grenade launchers, 23mm guns, 12.7mm or 7.62mm machine guns or bombs. It also has a 30mm cannon mounted under its nose. The Havoc made its combat debut during Russia's intervention in Syria, specifically during anti-ISIS operations in the Battle for Palmyra, and has also been used heavily in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the Iraqi Air Force (ICAF) put the Me-28 to good use for its own anti-ISIS operations during the Battle of Ramadi in 2015. Christian D. Orr is a former Air Force Security Forces officer, federal law enforcement officer, and private military contractor, with assignments worked in Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, Kosovo, Japan, Germany, and the Pentagon. Chris holds a BA in International Relations from the University of Southern California, USC, and an MA in Intelligence Studies, concentration in Terrorism Studies, from American Military University, AMO. He has also been published in the Daily Torch and the Journal of Intelligence and Cybersecurity. Last but not least, he is a companion of the Order of the Naval Order of the United States, NAUS. In his spare time, he enjoys shooting, dining out, cigars, Irish and British pubs, travel, USC Trojans college football, and Washington, D.C. professional sports.